simply unbelievable. How proud can one man be?
You are, without a doubt, the cockiest human I've ever met!
That's simple. Because he's the most powerful man in the 7 deadly sins.
I'm also the one who stands at the pinnacle of all races.
Before I kill you, I have to know. What was your name again?
And my name is...
What is good, beautiful people? I am your host, KingLionOFLocs, and we are 22 days at the time of this recording before the Game Awards comes out. I'm still on vacation, and I don't know if by the time I get off vacation would I be able to even vote. So I wanted to vote with you guys now, so that way when the award show comes out on December the 7th, we can watch it. I probably won't watch it when it's live because I want to be able to fast forward things. So expect probably my reactions to that, maybe if not the 7th, like maybe an hour or two afterwards, or the 8th. But without further ado, let's vote on this year's Game Awards. So, Game of the Year, recognizing a game that delivers the absolute best experience across all creative and technical fields. So we have Alan Wake 2, Baldur's Gate 3, Marvel Spider-Man 2, Resident Evil Remake 4, Mario Wonders, or Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. So what I'm gonna do, first things first, let's see if I can do this and move me. We're gonna move me right up here. No, we're gonna move me right up here and expand. There we go. All right. Like I said, Alan Wake 2, Baldur's Gate 3, Marvel Spider-Man 2, Resident Evil 4, Super Mario Wonder, or Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. So off rip, Tears of the Kingdom, you're not getting anything from me. Mario Wonder, now I will also say, I have seen all of these gameplay. While I have only played Marvel Spider-Man 2, I have seen majority, if not all, of these gameplay. Legend of Zelda, I'm gonna be honest, for all my Switch fans and Switch advocates, it needs to be updated. The Switch is so underpowered right now. It makes watching this look like a chore. It's kind of the same for Super Mario, but shout outs to your boy Roshi and Shira. I doubt they'll ever see this, but I've been enjoying watching their series on it. Resident Evil 4. My thing is that this is a remake of a game, and I'm pretty sure back in its heyday it was already like it's already a cult classic. So like it's kind of piggybacking off of that. I don't think it deserves it. Marvel Spider-Man 2. Now, hold on a second. Look at me. Okay? So Spider-Man 2 is a really good game. Insomniac put their whole toe, not just their toe, they put their whole leg in the game, right? And I had a blast playing it. It had some faults, yes. It was buggy as hell, yes. I still enjoyed the game. I did. I definitely enjoyed the game. Now, would I put it for a game of the year? Absolutely. But let's check out the other ones. Let's try not to be biased. We have Baldur's Gate 3. For our D&D fans, or the people that like that type of game, Baldur's Gate 3 is for you. Now, I will say I've never played Baldur's Gate. Like I mentioned before, I think the only game I played was Marvel Spider-Man 2. I've never played any of the other games, but watching Baldur's Gate was never really interesting to me. I don't like the top-down World of Warcraft look of games anymore. Like that no longer appeals to me. Excuse me. So like that kind of already kicks me out of it. Now I will say that in the cutscenes, the models look amazing. The game looks good, but having to do all my fighting top heavy, and then it's like taking a step back from like a Soulsborne game and that design. Like I'm doing all of this customization for a character that I'm rarely gonna see unless I'm in the cutscenes with you. Uh, that's my only gripe about it. Now, the good parts about it is that as multiplayer, you can play with your friends and you can romance. There's a lot of things you can do in this game, and so that I feel like if I was able to play with someone, it would be good. But because I'm only thinking about it by myself, it's gonna have to take a no for me. Alan Wake 2. This is another game that I have not played, but I have been watching people play. Again, shout out to your boy Roshi and Afro Sinju. There's just some other people that have played this game, and I've been like peeping out their channels. And I actually enjoy this game. I will say I will have to play the first one and Control before I get to this, and so it's going to be a minute before we get to this game. But I do enjoy the live action segments tie into the in-game segments of the game. It's just really good. That part attracts me into the game. Like if you are visibly pleasing, you've already won me. The same thing for back when God of War came out. That was visibly pleasing. Spider-Man, visibly pleasing. Don't get me wrong, Baldur's Gate is visibly pleasing in the cutscenes. That's the only time. Resident Evil 4 is also visibly pleasing, but again, this is grandfathered in. It does not count for me. Mario Party and Legend of Zelda, you know what you're getting when you get a Legend of Zelda game, and you know what you're getting with a Mario Party game. You really can't mess those up, but you know I feel like they are banking off of that, sameage. So it doesn't really do it for me. So we're down to Marvel Spider-Man, Baldur's Gate 3, and Alan Wake. I'm going to have to say, because I'm a Spider-Man fan, I'm voting for Spider-Man. But this is what a big but. While I am picking Spider-Man, I'm hoping that if Spider-Man loses, Alan Wake wins. That's my second guess. That's my second one. Okay. Best game direction. Awards the outstanding creative vision and innovative in game decision direction and design. Again, we have Alan Wake 2, Baldur's Gate 3, Marvel Spider-Man 2, Super Mario Brothers Wonder, Legend of Zelda. Now, in terms of game direction, and outstanding creativity, vision, and innovation in the game direction and design. I know I just read it over again, but bear with me. I do not believe Legend of Zelda is up there. I also don't believe Super Mario is up there. And then we're back down to the 3. Now I will have to say this. Let me look at y'all. Let me look at y'all for a second. I will have to say that while Spider-Man 2 is really good, it is really, really good. Creatively and innovatively, it is kind of sameish from the last Spider-Man game. And this is a Spider-Man fan. Please believe this is a Spider-Man fan. And on my other account, I heavily influenced Spider-Man winning. I'm gonna be honest with y'all now. Like my other account, Spider-Man should be winning by a landslide. But this one is the main one. This account matters the most because this is what you guys see. So, to be honest with you guys, game direction, it is kind of samey to a Spider-Man game. They kind of played it close to the vest. Is that a bad thing? No, I feel like this was the best Spider-Man we've had in a long time, but I feel like they played it a little close to the vest. Baldur's Gate 3, again, it was like any other World of Warcraft game. I feel like it wasn't really anything different on it. Like I said, it didn't really. Out of all of those games, besides Legend of Zelda, I think Baldur's Gate 3, I kind of tapped out on early, like mid-hour of watching someone play, because it wasn't my thing. Alan Wake 2. I am having to lean more to Alan Wake 2 because, again, watching the game, while it is similar to the gameplay wise, it's similar to the first Alan Wake, I will say that the cutscenes and the story itself is a lot better. And in terms of also, there are some mechanics that are different, like the Mind Palace. That is something that was not in the first one. I could be wrong, but I'm willing to bet that was not in the first one. And you could say that because Alan Wake 1 and Alan Wake 2 had years apart. So yes, you can notice a visible difference in the first gameplay and the second one. But with that being said, that I feel like that is showing outstanding creative vision. Like, you had this game where this creator, this artist is just looking for his girlfriend, and he's fighting against the darkness to fast forward to a story where now the police are getting involved. Like, there is more to this story, and I feel like this is better than whatever story Baldur's Gate was telling about, like, mind bugs. And as much as I enjoy swinging in the black suit, Spider-Man being black with Miles being also black, it was the same story. It was either people kept saying it was Webs of Shadows Spider-Man. I was seeing it more as the King in Black Spider-Man comic. So there wasn't really any creativeness into it. Not to say it was a bad thing. Again, best Spider-Man game ever. I just felt like there wasn't a lot of creativity in it besides like the overall story. If that makes sense. Again, not saying this was a bad game. It was a great game, but I'm having to say Alan Wake is better, has a better game direction. Now, while I am saying Alan Wake is better, if Alan Wake does not win, Spider-Man 2 better win. That's my thing. If Alan Wake 2 doesn't win, Spider-Man 2 better win. That's my thing. So best narrative. For outstanding storytelling and narrative development in a game, we have Alan Wake 2, Baldur's Gate 3, Cyberpunk 2077, Final Fantasy XVI, or Marvel Spider-Man 2. Okay, so bear with me. Best narrative story, best outstanding story. I will have to say, out of all of these games, again, I haven't seen Final Fantasy because I wanted to do it on the channel. I've already did the first video on it. I'm just trying to do the rest of them. I want to go back and say this. Cyberpunk has burned me, not me personally, but I've heard it in the streets and it's burned other people, so I'm automatically off of it. So with those two, you automatically both have lost the running for me just because of the lack of knowledge on the games. Baldur's Gate, I don't like the story. It is a really good storytelling game, but I feel like that's basically what it is. It's a D&D game. That's the point of it. It's to have a good story. So, but I feel like having to play through the story is the track or the journey I'm not willing to go through. Not to say it doesn't have a good story. It is, again, top 3. I feel like a lot of these top 3s will be Alan Wake, Baldur's Gate 3, and Spider-Man 2 for me. But with that being said, let me bring it back to y'all. Let me look at y'all again. We have Alan Wake 2 and Spider-Man 2. Alan Wake 2, so far, I have not finished the story because people that are playing it have not finished the story. Or at least uploaded it for me. But where they're at so far, the story is really good. I do like the fact that our protagonist, Alan, and the police girl are all solving this murder in their own way, whether it's Alan and he's writing the stories and he's narrating it to us, or the police girl and her mind palace while also Alan is narrating the story for us. I do like that. Spider-Man 2 though. Spider-Man 2. I feel like the story was really good. Now, like I mentioned before, the story was the King in Black or Webs of Shadows, but I do like their spin on it as well as what they had included, like the Miles Morales part. Now, while I did have an issue with some of the Miles Morales parts of the game, I did like what they did for Miles. He had his time to shine. It wasn't as much as Peter's time, which I think that's why in the third game is going to probably be more Miles centric. But I do feel like that this was a good story of it took a minute of passing the torch on. It took a minute to see like the passing of the torch, but like at the end we got there. And so I did like that narrative. Again though, if this is between the two of being either Alan Wake or Spider-Man, for outstanding story and narrative, I would have to say I have to give it to Alan Wake so far. And that's only because I will say out of all of these games, that I've seen, while I have finished Spider-Man's story, I feel like its story I feel like the story was I had some complaints. I had some complaints of the story. I I don't have too many complaints about Alan Wake's story, but again, this is not I'm not done watching this. And I gave up on the rest of these, to be honest with you, or at least haven't started these two. Spider-Man, I had finished, and it's not a bad game. Again, I would give this an 8 out of I would either give it a high 8.5 out of 10, low 8 out of 10. I enjoyed the game. I just had some issues with it, and I feel like explaining that would ruin the game down the road, and I don't want to do that. So I would have to give best narrative story to Alan Wake 2. Again, I will say though, if Alan Wake does not win, Spider-Man 2 better win. That's all I got to say. That's all I got to say. So the next one, best art direction for outstanding creativity or technical achievement in artist design and animation. We have Alan Wake 2, Hi-Fi Rush, Liza P, Super Mario. You know what? Again, Super Mario and Legend of Zelda, you guys don't get it from me. Again, you can't fuck up Mario. You look the same. Legend of Zelda, if this was Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, maybe, but this is Tears of the Kingdom. It's the same thing. You have Elric arm, you have Full Metal's arm. That doesn't do anything for me. So now we're down to Alan Wake 2, Hi-Fi Rush, and Liza P. Now, people that know the gospel of the channel of Liza P, that I am a Liza P master. Yes. Liza, hold on a second. Liza P master. All of that. I enjoyed that game, and I did like how they combined the world of Pinocchio into a Dark Souls game. That was amazing to me. I definitely enjoyed that. Hi-Fi Rush wasn't bad. I did love the art design, the cartoonish of it, the cartoon nature of the characters and everything. That was really good. Alan Wake 2, the art design from the realism to the gameplay was seamless. Sometimes I would look up and you would see Alan Wake that would look like Jared Leto from Morbius to the game Alan Wake, and I'm like, okay, I could work with that. I would have to say though, in terms of best direction, I'm having to give it to Liza P. I just like theirs a lot better. I feel like Liza P was a lot better in their art design for all of their monsters. All the monsters looked I wouldn't say all the monsters look different, but all the monsters looked interesting. I definitely like that, as well as how they changed some of the characters in the Pinocchio series into actual things that we had to fight, like the fox and the cat. I like that they were like people, or the rabbit brotherhood. I like that. So the next one is best score and music. And we have Alan Wake 2, Baldur's Gate 3, Final Fantasy XVI, Hi-Fi Rush, Legend of Zelda. We're not going to spend too much time on this. Hi-Fi Rush was all music. And when I mean all music, I mean like the game was designed around keeping the beat as you're fighting things. You can't get no more better than that. You can't have bunk ass music listening to. I'm giving it to Hi-Fi Rush. Hi-Fi Rush, you're getting it. Best audio design, recognizing the best in-game audio and sound design. Alan Wake 2, Dead Space, Hi-Fi Rush, Spider-Man 2, or Resident Evil 4. I'm gonna also have to give this again to Hi-Fi Rush, because again, the music was the best part of the game because you're keeping up with everything. I would say if it does not win, Spider-Man or Alan Wake, one of the two, because there'll be some parts in Eerie of Alan Wake 2 that I be thinking that like something's going wrong in the background, and I pause like I'm walking around thinking, what the hell is that sound? And it'd be my TV. Or Spider-Man 2, the music whenever you're web swing is the best part of it. So like those two are fighting for second place, but I have to give it to Hi-Fi Rush. Best performance. Awards to an individual for voiceover acting, motion, and other performance captive. We have Ben Starr from Final Fantasy XVI. So I think he was the main character. Cameron from Star Wars Survivor. He was, I want to say Kirk Connors, but that's not his name. Cal Kestis. There we go. We have Ezekiel Jackson. Wow. Idris Elba from Cyberpunk 2077. Again, didn't play that game, but I did see that like he was a pretty good part of the game. Melanie from Alan Wake 2. That's the police girl, and she's a really good actor. Neil Newborn from Baldur's Gate 3. Don't know who you play. I'm gonna be honest with you. Yuri from Marvel Spider-Man 2. So now the dick sucking can begin. So hold on a second. Y'all gotta get a look at my face. You gotta look at my face when I tell y'all this. Okay, so again, Star Wars. Kyle Kestis, you did a pretty good job. Don't get me wrong. The gameplay was really good. I didn't finish the first one. I'm gonna go back and do that one for y'all. But we're gonna get to that later. This ain't about you. Get out of my face. Ben Starr, you are a really good character in that game that I did not finish yet. I'm still playing it, so you're not getting this. Moving my way. Idris Elba, you are a handsome man. Don't get me wrong. You're a very handsome man. But I'm not playing Cyberpunk anytime soon until it's free or back on the PlayStation Store. Moving my face. You're not in my way. Honey, Melanie, look at me, please girl, Mrs. Officer, you are amazing. I love me a chocolate woman, but I'm gonna have to ask you to move to the side a little bit, Neil, I don't even know who the fuck you are, Neil, so I'm gonna need you to move on my way. But Yuri, my man for Spider-Man 2. Now, please understand me this, you could tell that Yuri had rent due. He had his car payment 3 times late. He had the power about to come off. He had no groceries in his house. This is how much you would think he had to put in on this performance in Spider-Man 2. When I tell y'all, he put his heart and soul in some of these lines, as well as like some of the quips that Spider-Man be saying. I'm telling y'all, Yuri put his performance in this motherfucker. He put his whole being in this bitch. I gotta give it to Yuri. Yuri, you guys to get this. You gonna hold this dub. You're taking it home. All right. Innovative in accessibility. Recognizing software and or hardware that pushes the medium forward by adding technology and content to help games to be played and enjoyed by even wider audience. We have El Diablo 4. IV is 4, VI is 6. Yeah. Forza Motorsports, Hi-Fi Rush, Marvel Spider-Man 2, Mortal Kombat 1, or Street Fighter 6. So El Diablo, I know nothing about. You're not getting anything from me. Forza, you're a racing game, and we all know my stance on racing games. You can get the fuck out of my face. I don't care. Hi-Fi Rush, I didn't see what accessibility you had when I did watch people play you, so I can't really say anything on that. Marvel Spider-Man 2. Now, I will say I did play that again, and it did help out for the hearing impaired as well as the deaf. Not deaf, but as well as the blind. And not so much like the blind, like you can't see, but, and I think that too, but like the blind audience for the game, not only because it had subtitles at the bottom of it, so you could read it if you're deaf, but the fact that everyone in the game, for the most part, sign language, as well as like an experience where you got to see what it's like to be hearing impaired, we'll say. So I did like that, as well as a setting in the game that like the hearing impaired part was just default. Like every character was signing, or they were in school and someone was signing. But for the seeing impaired, the visually impaired, I believe that's the term for it, they have a section where you can highlight the important parts of the game to focus on. So like when I was first trying out the settings, I didn't know what that was. I thought it was just like a way to like help me not miss things. And it did do that. The only issue is that everything that wasn't me or something that I was interacting with didn't have color for it. So like you could only focus on the things that had color. And so that helped out. I will say that. Mortal Kombat 1 and Street Fighter 6, I think they had the same thing, where they just had made it easier for characters that have big ass hands, like yours truly. Like if you have ham hock hands, like I know they don't look that big because like I have on a big jacket, but please believe, like I have big ass hands, okay? And so playing games that are not Tekken, where I have to move my thumb around counterclockwise or in G formation, is almost impossible. But I will say, while I will get talked down to, fuck y'all, I like modern controls. I like to be able to press 2 buttons and be able to do moves that I would have to press more than 2 buttons and move my fingers. I like that better. So I think Street Fighter 6 and Mortal Kombat both had that accessibility where it made it easier for characters to play and do better moves to keep up with for other people. With that being said, I'm going back to my dick sucking ways, and we're going back to Spider-Man. Spider-Man 2, you're getting this one. Spider-Man. Anyway, moving on. Game for impact. For a thought and provoking game with a pro social media message or meaning. I don't know none of these games. I only knew this one that I had downloaded from the PlayStation Network, so you're gonna get that. Best ongoing award to the game for outstanding development of ongoing content that involves the player experience over time. You have Apex Legends, Cyberpunk 2077, Final Fantasy XVI, Fortnite, Genshin Impact. So, Genshin, I feel like you would be the best one for this. But we're gonna hold off on that. We're gonna hold off. Fortnite, you will never get me to vote for you ever in your life. Final Fantasy, I think this is the online one, which I didn't play that. I do believe that they have new content because they be having my man Afro in the headlock, seems like. Cyberpunk has went from being dick ass cheese to being a actually playable game, and I feel like that is the best ongoing experience, because it is, you can't, once you're at the bottom you can only go up. So I feel like that's you're showing progress, for better or for worse, you're showing progress. And then again, Apex Legend is just like, it's just like Fortnite. So like I feel like, yes, you have content, but I feel like you're never getting anything from me because you annoy me so much. So we have Genshin Impact or Cyberpunk, really. And while I feel like Genshin Impact is really, really good, and it would probably be the best answer, I want to go for the underdog this time. So let's go for the underdog and let's give it to Cyberpunk. Let's see what Cyberpunk gets. Okay, best community support. Recognizing a game for outstanding community support, transparency, responsiveness, and inclusive of social media activity and game updates and patches. We have Baldur's Gate 3, Cyberpunk 2077, Destiny 2, Final Fantasy, No Man's Sky. Okay, I don't know any of these communities. I've heard that this is a toxic while also helping community. I heard this is a dead community. I don't know anything about this community. Again, it was dick ass cheese. Apparently it's gotten better. And then you kind of need people to help you out with this. I'm going to give my first vote for this game goes to Baldur's Gate. Baldur's Gate, you get the first one. I don't even know if your community is good or not. You'll get the first one though. Best independent game for outstanding creative and for outstanding creative and technical achievement in a game made outside of the traditional publisher system. I don't know any of these games, so I'm gonna give it to this one because I like the design. Okay, best debut. What the fuck? Debut. Why am I saying like that? Best debut. I can't say the word. Why can I not say this word? Not debut. Hold on a second, y'all. Hold on a second.
A few moments later.
Debut. I hate myself. I can't talk sometimes. Best debuted indie game. We have. I don't know. Actually, no. I know of Pizza Towers, and the reason why I know of Pizza Towers is because of a family member of mine, which is also a content creator. Editor, put her name down here. Name down here. Hold on a second. Put her name down here, editor. Family member plays this game. You guys check it out. She does actually pretty good. Her channel on it is actually pretty good. I enjoy it. So I'm giving it to Pizza Towers. Pizza Towers, you get it. Best mobile game. For the best game playable on mobile device, we have Final Fantasy Ever Crisis, Hello Kitty Island Adventures, Encore, Monster Hunter Rival, or Terranel. I don't know any of the. Actually, no. I know of Honkai and I know of the Final Fantasy game. Excuse me. And I will say, while I heard that Honkai was just Genshin Impact, Final Fantasy Ever Crisis, I only saw my man B-Rhyme play it, and it looked good. It just kind of looked bare boned. So I'm gonna have to give it, even though I watched my man play it, I'm gonna have to give it to Honkai only because this looked a little bit more interesting as opposed to a arena game that just has Final Fantasy in it, I guess. Best VR AR experience. For the best game experience playable in virtual or augment reality enterprise in relations of platform. In relations, I'm sure I butchered this word. I don't care at this moment. We have Gran Turismo 7, Horizon Call of the Mountain. Did this game even come out yet? I didn't know this game came out yet. Humanity, Resident Evil Village, or Synapse. I'm going to Resident Evil because Big Mommy Milkers. Anyway. Big Mommy Milkers. Hello, Big Mama. There we go. Best action game. For the best game in the action genre focused primarily on combat, we have Armored Core, Dead Island, Ghost Runner, Hi-Fi Rush, or Remnant 2. It's up to either Dead Island or Hi-Fi Rush for me, y'all. And to be honest with you, I feel like in terms of action, I'm gonna have to give it to Dead Island. Best action adventure. For the best action adventure combining combat and traversing and puzzle solving, we have Alan Wake 2, Spider-Man 2, Resident Evil 4, Star Wars Jedi Survivor, or Legend of Zelda. Spider-Man 2. Best RPG. For best game design with rich player character, customization and progress, including massive multiplayer experience. Okay. Baldur's Gate 3, Final Fantasy, Lies of P, Seas of Soul, or Starfield. Now, I will say that as much of hype as I thought Starfield would have, and Baldur's Gate would have, I hear more people when I pick people up when I go out driving, I hear more people talk to me about Starfield than I do about Baldur's Gate 3. And I don't know how, at least by this definition, like for a game that's like best design for rich character customization and progress, including like massively multiplayer experience. Like if the game doesn't have multiplayer in it, I kind of feel like you already shouldn't be in the category. But then again, rich character customization, I don't know too much about Sea of Stars, so that's automatically out. Starfield, I didn't see too much gameplay on that. It just didn't really pull me in. When I saw people play it, I don't know. It just looks like Fortnite. Not Fortnite. It looks like Fallout, but like in space. So it kind of didn't do anything for me. Liza P, again, I like the customization as well as the weapons customization. It doesn't have multiplayer into it. So I don't know what you can do, cuz like even the specters aren't characters like you can play online with your friends or anything, at least not yet. If they're doing that later. It's just like AI. So I don't know if that one technically counts. Final Fantasy, again, that is really good in the character customization. Final Fantasy has always been good at that, but I have not played that all the way through, even enough to say if I would say that is the best. And then Baldur's Gate 3, the customization is really good. It does have really good multiplayer. I would have to say Baldur's Gate. I would have to say that. I'm gonna have to go with the Gate of Boulders. You got to get it. Best fighting. For the best game design primary around head to head combat, we have God of Rock. What the fuck is this? Mortal Kombat 1, Nick All Stars Battle Brawl 2, Pocket Bravery. What the fuck? And Street Fighter 6. Okay, so I don't know what the fuck God of Rock is, so that's automatically no. Pocket Bravery? No, I don't know what the fuck you are either. Nickelodeon All-Star Battle Brawl 2. I was adding more words to it. Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl 2. There is no way in hell. No way in hell am y'all gonna get me to pay 70 more dollars. I didn't even pay $70 for the first one. I got that bitch for free. But you think I'm gonna pay 70 more dollars for a game that was already bad from the first one, that y'all think they're supposed to be better than the second one? I'm not doing it. You're not getting me. Mortal Kombat 1 and Street Fighter 6. So, primary round head-to-head combat. I'm gonna lie and say that I'm doing this based off of the story because, again, fat hands. I can't do anything with these ham hocks besides Tekken. So, with that being said, I did not see the end story or really anyone play the story in Final Fantasy VI. Now, the combinations look good and the women look good. Mortal Kombat story is a little bit better because I've actually seen people play the story as well. I like the combat more in Mortal Kombat. I like the combat more in Mortal Kombat. But if Mortal Kombat doesn't win, Street Fighter 6 better win. Best family. We have Disney Illusion Island. When was this a game? Party Animals, Pikmin 4, Sonic Superstars, or Mario Super Brawl. So I don't care what anyone says. Any Mario Party game is how you lose friends or get divorced. Sonic Superstars, I've seen people play it, but I actually never know when this game came out, so I can't really tell y'all anything on this. Pikmin 4, I didn't even know this game had came out, and one day people were playing Pikmin. I never even played the first Pikmin or the second or third one, so I didn't even know there was a fourth one, to be honest with you. Party Animal, that looked a little fun. I would definitely play Party Animal. At Disney Island, never knew this came out, so I'm gonna have to go with Party Animal. Best Sims or strategy. Best game focused on real-time or turn-based simulations or strategy gameplay. We have Achievement War 1 and 2, Cities Skyline 3, Companies of Heroes 3, Fire Emblem Engage, or Pikmin 4. Where's the Sims at? You can't get no better than Sims game than the Sims. I'm gonna give it the cities. Fuck it. I'm gonna give it the cities. I don't even know these games. I'm gonna give it the cities though. Best sports and racing. Fuck it. Forza. Fuck it. Best multiplayer. For outstanding online multiplayer gameplay and design, including co-op and massive multiplayer experience, Baldur's Gate, Diablo, Party Animals, Street Fighter 6, or Mario Wonder. You No, you can only play co-op, I guess, including co-op mode. But like, no, I would never want to play with someone that I'm supposed to like love or care a Mario game with. One of the best out of these games is either Party Animals or Baldur's Gate 3. Um, Not to say that Street Fighters is not a good multiplayer. I just feel like you're not playing Street Fighters for camaraderie. Like you're playing it to beat someone's ass. Diablo 4, I couldn't even tell you. Uh, I'm gonna give it to Baldur's Gate. You can get a Baldur's Gate. Okay. Best adaptation, recognizing outstanding creative work that faintly and authentically adapts a video game to another entertainment media. We have Castlevania, Gran Turismo, The Last of Us, Super Mario, or Twisted Metal. So Twisted Metal had me when they said Samoa Joe was Sweet Tooth, but lost me when Samoa Joe was Sweet Tooth and not and hold on a second. When Samoa Joe was Sweet Tooth, they had me. But when I realized it was just Samoa Joe in a mask and the person doing the voiceover parts, I think that was still Samoa Joe. But if it wasn't, like the fact that Sweet Tooth head wasn't on fire to like I think like middle of the show, damn near to the end of it, turned me off. I haven't even watched it, but I saw that part and I was turned off. Super Mario, bro, they have had the Peach song in a headlock. Was pretty good. I didn't like how Chris Pratt is not a really good plumber and he's not a really good Italian person. But that just might be the Italian stereotype I was expecting from him. So what? You know what? So what, sue me. The Last of Us, I heard was a really good show. I would give it best adaptation if the final scene did not go out how they did it in the game. I was expecting so much and I did not get that, and I was a little sad. It's still a really good, from what I was told, it's still a really good adaptation. People should still definitely go watch it. I probably will down the line. I just know that part is going to make me upset. Gran Turismo, it's a kid, a kid plays driving so well that, he's able to drive a car. And I know this is the barest bone of the movie, but like that's the crux of the movie. The kid plays Gran Turismo so well that he can actually drive a car. I play Grand Theft Auto. I can drive a car. I'm joking. I'm so joking. I can't drive a car. Anyway, we got Castlevania. I haven't seen this new season of Castlevania, so I don't know how good it is. But out of the ones that I did see, I've only actually seen from the beginning to end and know of and didn't really have an issue is Super Mario Brothers. So I'm gonna have to give it to Mario and Luigi Mario, the Super Mario Brothers. Best anticipated game. Recognize an announced game that has been basically a game that's about to come out. We have Final Fantasy Rebirth, Hades 2, Like a Dragon, Infinity Wealth, Star Wars Outlaw, or Tekken 8. Tekken 8, out my face. It's about to get down in the next 2 months. We're about to put our father in the dirt. He killed my mans. He killed my grandfather. I can't let you go out like that. I can't let it slide. You got to die. True power is who can stay down. Content creator of the year. I don't know none of you motherfuckers. Actually, I take that back. I know you from the Game Awards, but I don't know none of you other motherfuckers. So I'm gonna give it to you. Respectfully, I don't know none of you motherfuckers. I don't know any of you. Best e-game sports or best esports game. No. Because I had someone to play League of Legends and Arcane is really good. Arcane's getting it. Best esports athlete. Best esports athlete. I don't know you, don't know you, don't know you, don't know you, don't know you. You look familiar and you look familiar, but you look more familiar. I'm giving it to you. Best esports team. I don't know you, don't know you, don't know you. I know you two look familiar. I knew you look familiar. I'm gonna give it to JD's Gaming. And before y'all say that was racist, no, the dude on the side looked like one of the guys. I don't know, like I'll put their name, I'll put their picture back down, but they're on here. Editor, don't make me come out racist now. Don't make me come out racist. Best esports coach. Can I be honest with y'all? I am a whole advocate for the esports genre. Like whenever I go to like my family's house and they like be putting on like, you know, the primitive sports like the football and the basketball and all that other shit, and you gotta watch one motherfucker run downfield court, the other down to the other side of the court, then back out down to the other side of the court, and then having to rest and break and everything, take waters, you know. And then the other one that has to throw the ball and then kick the ball and then like run from the other side of the court. And we supposed to knock a motherfucker down and give them a concussion down the road. Like I watch those primitive sports, but then when I ask, like, hey, can we watch an esports? I gotta go actively, I gotta put on my armor and shit to actively defend esports community because like these are actually sports now too. But what I'm having trouble, getting behind is esports coach. Like, I can see the team, I can see a player, but what is a coach? Like you're telling me plans that like you're telling me like that you can't just have one motherfucker that does this that actually plays the game. I don't see the point of a coach. I don't. But you know what? I'm going to give it to the JD gamer only because that's the only one he does League of Legends. The rest of them I thought I saw Counter Sports, I saw Counter Strike, a Valorant, other games I didn't care about. And I think that's no, okay, best esports event. See, like these I don't mind. Like the League of Legends World Championships, of the Blast TV, never seen that before. The Evo, I'm a big advocate for watching Evo. International Danto 2, I've never heard of that. Fuck Valorant. I'm giving it to Evo. Like I love Evo. Like when I do the ABLs, that's the mindset I give it. That's my esports event. But like you don't see like Diddy or C Money come in with his coach and he's like you don't see him whispering lessons. You don't see Copper come in and like me coming over and just like, hey, you need to, you don't see that. You just see us playing the game. And so I like that more. But I'm giving it to Evo. And so that'll be my pickings for this year's Game Awards. I do apologize if this took a little longer than I thought. I'm gonna have to cut this bitch down. But let me know what you guys think down below. And on December the 7th, we will see if my votes ring true. But without that being said, I've been your host, KingLionOFLocs. I'll text you again later. Peace, guys.